We ready?
Sure, why not?
All right, we'll get started. I'd like to welcome everyone to the July 17th, 2023 meeting of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. Would you please rise and join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Thank you. Well, we've got a full house this morning. This is unusual. There's usually only, but still nobody in the front row, so that's some things never change. I'm Jeff Benton, President of the Board this year. To my left is Vice President, fellow Commissioner Barb Lewis, or Gary Merrill. Barb Lewis is my fellow Commissioner to my right. Tracy Davies, our Administrator. Don Houston, Eric Hostetler, our Deputy Administrators. Our clerks today, Sarah DeNova and Jennifer Walraven. We can begin.
Resolution number 23-596, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held July 10th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 23-596. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
We do not have any comment today, so that brings us to item number 3, resolution number 23-597, in the matter of approving purchase orders and now certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 0714.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 23-597. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 23-598, in the matter of approving travel expense requests.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 23-598. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 23-599, in the matter of accepting the treasurer's report for the month of June 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 23-599. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Next on our agenda is Leah Evans, the President and CEO of Homeport. She has a presentation of the redevelopment of 50 Channing Street.
Go ahead.
Good morning. Thank you for having us, Commissioner Benton, Commissioner Merrill, Commissioner Lewis. Again, I'm Leah Evans, President and CEO of Homeport. I'm here to tell you a little bit about Homeport, and then I'm asking my colleague Aaron Wasserman to come up and tell you a little bit about the Channing Street project. So first, of course, I want to express our appreciation to the commissioners and to your staff on working with us for over 3 years on this project. We were first introduced in 2020 to look at the possible redevelopment of the existing building, which is currently serving as the county engineers building. Homeport, we're a 36-year-old nonprofit development company. Were founded as a public-private partnership between local real estate developers, civic leaders, faith leaders, and the community. As that time in the late 80s, if you're from Columbus and know this area well, the late 80s, we were experiencing a population boom at that time. And at the time, they were really seeing that people, which at that term we called working poor, so they worked in everyday jobs at the grocery store, at restaurants, at the gas station, were not able to afford housing throughout the community. And that's been the job we've been doing since then. Our community in 2022, we served 7,100 people across 43 communities across Franklin County. This is our first time being in a project in Delaware. We're very excited to be partnering with you. The work that we do, of course, is to develop housing. Our model is to do that with communities. We don't come in with a prescribed idea of what we're going to build or what's going to be developed. We really look to the community to help us understand their housing needs and how we can fit to serve those. The next thing that we do is that we provide resident services on our properties. So we have a team of real estate professionals. We also have a team of social workers and community servants that will go out and address any need the resident has. Sometimes that's just as simple as, food, that may be getting diapers, that may be getting connected to healthcare, but our team of service coordinators work with them. In 2022, our service coordinators provided 600 connections to our resident population to area service providers. The last part of our work is that we actually provide housing advisory services throughout a 9-county region. So in 2022, we had over 300 people graduate from home buyer education. We helped 350 people buy homes throughout the metropolitan area, and we provided 111 graduates from financial financial fitness. So we look at housing in all those spectrums, building it, keeping people housed, and then helping people get in a position to buy or access home ownership opportunities. That's a little bit about us. We're a team of 35. We are currently located in offices in Columbus, Ohio, and continue to do the good work. We have properties going under construction right now at Easton, in the Linden community in Columbus, and in the Franklinton community in Columbus. And we look forward to continue to work with you all to build housing that's affordable to residents of Delaware. I'd like to bring Aaron Wasserman up, who is our Vice President of Real Estate, to talk a little bit more specifically about Channing Street.
Okay, great. Thanks, Leah. Welcome, Aaron.
Hi, everyone. Hi, it's my first time here, so thank you for inviting us, and let me know if you need me to speak up or anything like that. Is this just something I can operate here on my own?
Yes, at the up and down button.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, great, thanks. Well, we have a few slides to show you the plans here. Again, I'm Aaron Wasserman. I'm our Vice President of Real Estate Development. In the second row is David Mahan. He's our project manager. We're the two people who you'll probably see most often sort of on a day-to-day basis with our development team. Yeah, I'll talk for about, I assume, 5 minutes. You have a very busy agenda, and I'm glad to answer questions as I go or at the end. You're seeing here on the screen, to everyone behind me in the audience, or also perhaps at your desk, this is the site right now. And it's a pretty large site. Obviously using it as the engineering office and have for many years. And as Leah was saying, we build homes to try to respond to community needs. So this is a range of housing that we're planning to build here. And it's also, I think, very important to do it when you have this large of a site already in a residential neighborhood. The county, I think, has been planning to leave the site for some time. You don't want that to be vacant for a long time, because that can then become an eyesore or hurt the neighborhood and drag down properties around it. So we want to revitalize the property to keep a stable neighborhood. So I guess in retrospect, this is not super legible perhaps to the audience, but this is the site plan showing how we're going from the existing conditions to reusing the site, where we will reuse the office building, build 3 new buildings to the south of it, which will have townhomes, and then also build 8 single-family homes to the east of the existing office building. We're reusing the excess parking lot or the excess storage area to create more homes. So in total, we'll have 44 rental apartments and 8 single-family homes for sale. And all of these target people who I'd say, are in what we often call sort of the mid-market, people who, for a family of 4, annual income about no more than $60,000 per year, and as low in that 40 to 60,000 range. We often say regular working folks down to some people who are more vulnerable and might be getting priced out of the Delaware market. So this is a rendering showing you, how we plan to reuse the existing office building on the left, and then build these townhome buildings on the right. They're 2-story buildings. They'll have direct entries from the street or from the parking lot right into people's homes. That really creates a better, I think, interaction with the street, encourages people to walk more around their neighborhood, creates a better streetscape that I think people are more likely to be interested to rent, and also it becomes their own space that they want to take care of. And this is just showing you another angle of that, where we'll plan to have landscaping around the property, and while also having resurfaced parking lots and the parking we need on the site for the people who are going to live there. This last slide is showing the single-family homes that we're planning to build. And these are more modest. Trying to target people who are entering the housing market, or whether they're a first or second-time home buyer.
Aaron, do they tend to be singles or families, or in these houses?
Well, they have multiple bedrooms, so they're meant to target, I think, smaller families. But it is for the public at large. One does not have to be, a family. One could be, a single person buying a house. And I'll probably just end in terms of our timeline. I know that the county is in the near future, at least when we last spoke, was perhaps as soon as next month, going to leave this building. We're planning to acquire it by the end of the year from the county. And our goal is to start construction on this project in the middle of 2024. This is a pretty complex construction project, particularly to reuse an office building like like this for residential purpose. So it's probably going to last 16+ months or so to undertake all the construction. Our plans to, have one construction project happening at once. So it probably will be in early 2026 that it will be available for occupancy, though we start leasing several months in advance, and, we'll, give you as many updates as you like, of course, and particularly when we're leasing, to make sure we get word out in the community, that people are aware of the opportunity. And we're also planning to update neighbors as well in the coming weeks, just so that they're aware of what's going to be happening, or if they need to reach us, how they can do that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, what do you expect the pricing to be on the single-family homes that are for sale? Do you have that figured out yet?
Sure, not fully, I'll admit. This is like Leah Evans was saying, this is our first time developing and selling single-family homes in Delaware. We do that in Columbus regularly. I think we need to research the market more, but yeah, I'll probably leave it at that, so I don't say a number that I regret.
Sure.
Yeah.
Where are the single-family homes going? Which parcels?
Sure. I'll go back here. Excuse the live scrolling. So on the far eastern part of the site, or the right hand of the page, on the first page that you were looking at, which is where there's a very large shed right now, to the right or east of the main office building.
That's where the.
It says not included in proposal.
Sorry, it says not included in
That's
proposal.
probably what's confusing.
Because, sorry for the confusion. This image you're looking at is a site plan we prepared as part of the application to the state's Housing Finance Agency for the financing that's needed to create these sort of workforce or affordable rental apartments. And the state's Housing Finance Agency is only financing the rental component of the project. So for them to focus on that, that's why we just wrote not included in proposal over that building.
That's where the single-family.
That's where the single-family homes will be, yeah.
Okay. Other questions? Sure.
Well, I really have a question. This, timing is everything on these projects. I know Delaware City has had an interest in affordable housing, and sometimes it's the questions you ask. I happen to be having lunch with Pat Grable, who used to own King Thompson Real Estate, and I said, there's probably I want to show you. And so we drove out there, and he says, contact Homeport. And you're nodding, Leah, so I think you know Pat. Mm-hmm. And from that, there was a couple of tours of the site. Leah was a different capacity at that point in time. And it was apparent that there was a strong interest, and a lot of hurdles I had to get through to get to the point we are today. But sometimes it's the questions that get asked and just kind of evolved. And it's my understanding the neighborhood was excited about the possibility of maintaining that building rather than tearing it down. And I think it's going to be a win-win for everybody. And I think I'm looking forward to completion.
Great, thank you.
I just think it's a wonderful addition, and the neighborhood will be very happy, and so will all those moving in, be they rental properties or homes. I mean, it's we've all worked somewhat on workforce housing. I've worked a lot on that recently with United Way, and we've made great strides. And boy, I mean, it's so necessary, and this is just great. Just really thrilled. And also, I know, Leah, you mentioned too that people will have the means to find help too with their various needs, which is wonderful. And finally, I'd like to thank Tom and Delaware City Council and for their role in this too. But thank you so much.
Yeah, the east side is really coming along. It's really neat to see. There's a number of commercial projects, businesses being renovated, created, et cetera. And then we got the Mill on Flax project moving along, which is great to see. There's another project out where the Salvation Army camp was. It's going to provide a significant amount of housing. So it's great, and we're obviously leaving this building to move to our new Bixby campus. And so, it is, like Commissioner Merrill said, it's a win-win. We get to repurpose that building in a positive way, and And so, yeah, welcome to Delaware Homeport.
Thank you.
Glad to have you guys here and so on. And also want to recognize Tom Homan, Delaware City Manager, doing a great job of shepherding this thing through a complex process. And I know we've all worked hard. I know Eric Hostadler, our council, has worked a lot on it, and others, and there are a number of others. So, again, good to see.
Great.
We're anxious to keep working on progress and help in any way we can. As I mentioned before to Leah and Aaron, both the land bank has some demolition grant funding that may be able to help with some of the demolition work that needs to be done. So,
Great, yeah, thank you, yeah.
yeah.
That'd be
Tom,
great.
did you have something you wanted to? Sure, come on up. Yeah, didn't want to cut you off, Eric. Were you, or Aaron? I mean, were you done? Okay.
I'll just leave these brochures here if you're curious.
Okay.
Tom Homan, Delaware City Manager, and I want to thank the commissioners for inviting the city here this morning to talk about this exciting project. This is the first time that we've done a project with Homeport. We're excited about it. Gary had reached out, I think it was in 2020, talking about some conversations that were occurring about housing and the needs and that site and kind of the unique potential it provides for housing. This was approved during COVID. It was all done virtually, but most of the neighbors, I think, were very supportive of seeing something happen, transforming that site. So, and it couldn't be occurring in a more important time for our region in terms of housing, whether it's the Morpsey study, what United Way is doing. All of us are aware of the challenges, but this project provides, I think, underscores the importance of taking an existing site and reusing it in a very unique way and actually kind of diversifying the housing stock. It's not just going to be single family, it's not just going to be rental, it's going to be all three with the twin singles. So we're very excited with Homeport. They have received preliminary approval, so they will be coming back through the city's final development review process, and we look forward to working with them. I think just finally, two things. One, partnership with the county is important on these things. These partnerships, you can't make housing occur like this without that, and the nonprofit that Homeport offers is exciting. And then finally, the low-income housing tax credit, which they went through the process initially, were not approved, and then came back through it again, I think underscores, again, the need for increasing the supply of housing tax credits. And I think in the recent budget that was approved by the state, there is going to be more dollars available. Because if there are more dollars available, more of these projects can happen. So I think that's the role the state plays. So thank you.
Third time was the charm of this.
Pardon?
Third time
Yes,
was the
exactly.
charm.
So thanks a lot, Delaware County, for helping make this happen, and we look forward to working with the county staff and Homeport and getting it to the finish line. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Tom. Okay. Wait,
No vote.
we don't have a vote, do we?
No vote.
Okay.
Item number 6, resolution number 23-600, in the matter of proclaiming the week of July 16th through 22nd, 2023 as pretrial probation and parole supervisor week in Delaware County.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Sorry you have to compete with the noise in the back lot
They
here.
could have waited till
Good
Welcome.
morning. Hi, my name is Karen Moore. I'm the Chief Probation Officer at Juvenile Court. I've had the privilege of working with probation officers and intake and diversion officers. I've been a probation officer in this county since 1999. Over the years, I've worked with some outstanding people in both the adult and juvenile world. The work probation officers do make a difference in the lives of people we serve and their families. We collaborate with schools, family advocates, victim services, counseling agencies, law enforcement, and a myriad of others who work to improve the lives of people in our community. Probation officers carry out the orders of the court in law enforcement capacity. They're social workers who link people with services, and they play the role of counselor by helping someone make the right decisions. Working with our population takes an emotional toll, and officers are exposed to primary and secondary trauma by being involved in the lives of our clients. I've seen clients on our best days, and I've been to funerals. Probation work does not end when a piece of paper says it's over. Life is a practice, and probation officers there for the long haul if the client is still seeking support. We may be a few of the trusted people in their lives who can help guide them to resources. Having a diverse and full staff is vital to our department. It allows enough staff to match the client to the officer for long-term success. Having a full staff keeps caseloads at a reasonable size and ensures all youth and families receive the supportive attention they need to change behavior and create peace within their home. We're thankful for the support of the Delaware County Commissioners, our Juvenile Court Judge, Judge Himanowski, and Juvenile Court Administrator, Katie Stemman. Without you, we would not be able to have the resources we need to make a lasting impact on the community we serve here in Delaware County. I would like to close by recognizing the work of our juvenile probation, intake, and diversion staff, and the adult probation staff at ACS who do the boots-on-the-ground work every day to keep Delaware County a safe community. We respectfully request you proclaim July 16th to the 22nd of 2023 National Probation, Parole, and Pretrial Supervision Week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark?
Good morning, Commissioners, Lewis, Benton, and Merrill. Mark Taglione, Chief Probation Officer, Adult Court Services. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the professional staff at Adult Court Services and Juvenile Court for their dedication to the important and necessary duties they perform for the court, community, and the client under their supervision. The responsibilities of this profession are many, but I am proud to work alongside of these officers in this sometimes overlooked profession within the criminal justice field. I would like to recognize all the staff of Adult Court Services, especially the staff here today representing our office of 17 officers, 4 PSI writers, and 1 office manager. PSI stands for Pre-Sentence Investigation. So I'd like to recognize Pre-Sentence Investigator Dave McQuigg in the back row, Officers Rachel Clunan, Casey Comyati, Ryan Swinehart, and Brittany Webb. Finally, I want to respectfully thank the board for their time this morning in declaring the week of July 16th through the 22nd Pretrial Probation and Parole Supervision Week in Delaware County. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you
Thank
both.
you.
Comments, Commissioners? Commissioner Lewis?
No, I mean, you just do a wonderful job, and it's such a tough job. And I know Mark chairs some of the meetings that I've been in, and boy, you deal with some setbacks, but then you come back and then you make the best of it, and you're just constantly helping those who need that help very desperately. And I just want to thank you so much. You do an excellent job, all of you back there. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I just say thank you for the role you all play. Why don't you guys stand up, all of you, just so, not everybody got introduced by name. And just thank you for all you do, and you make a difference in our county, and we're lucky to have people like you who are dedicated and work in behalf of this county, and we thank you very much.
Yeah, I know you have a very challenging job, and we really do appreciate it. Your group is one of the main reasons why Delaware County is a great place to live, because it's a very safe place. And what you do keeps us that way. So we really appreciate it. It's very, very important work. We do have a proclamation that it has been signed, but we do need to.
We can vote, and then you can take a picture.
Okay, we'll vote on the proclamation, then we'll take a picture with everybody. You have to come to the front to
Right,
take a picture.
that's right.
Vote on motion 23-600. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Hi.
All right, let's do a
All
picture.
right.
Pretend like you're right.
We'll have to confront.
Okay, Jennifer?
Item number 7, resolution number 23-601, in the matter of approving a supplemental appropriation for the Record Center.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Welcome, Chris.
Shaw, Records Coordinator for Delaware County. Didn't know if there was any questions on the supplemental that's been provided.
Go ahead and move your.
Yeah.
There we
It's got hard,
go.
that's better
Thank
anyway.
you.
Speak as loud as you can.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Speak as loud as you
You
can.
can.
we got the noise in the background here.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if there was any questions on the supplemental that was presented.
I didn't have any. We got the email before Dawn helped to explain the need and the opportunity, I guess, is partly the why. So I didn't have any questions on it.
I have none.
Real.
No.
Okay, I think we're ready for a vote, Jennifer?
Vote on motion 23-601, Mr. Merrill,
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis,
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks,
Thanks,
Chris, for the job you do, too.
Yeah.
Resolution number 23-602, in the matter of approving a permit for the use of Delaware County facilities.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jane Hawes, Director of Communications. We have a facilities permit request or application from Holly Quain with Delaware Area Chamber of Commerce. The word's getting out about the Bixby campus conference room, so she's looking to use it November 8th to 9th for a Leadership Delaware meeting, and we recommend your approval.
Is this the first one we've had?
No, she actually requested one for September, which will be at Willis, and then one in February of next year, which you've approved.
No, I mean the first one at Bixby. First time we've had a
I think it
room.
might be,
Remember
yeah.
that? I don't
yeah.
remember.
Being a little sarcastic, I hope we're in there by November.
Where's John?
No, John has assured me that these dates, we were good to go, so, yes. So we
All right.
recommend your approval.
All right, vote please.
Vote on motion 23-602, Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Thank you. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to introduce a newest member of our staff, Eric Whites, if you can join me. He is our new communications specialist who is just starting today, and I think he's been a little surprised to come to session and see how active and packed things are. But he joins us from the U.S. District Court, where he was a public information specialist. And I'll note also, he lives in Marysville. His wife works for the Dave Thomas Foundation.
Oh,
So
great.
this is a much better commute for him. So
Oh, thank
I'll
you.
let Eric introduce
Yeah.
Okay, welcome, Eric.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me, and thank you, Jane, for getting me right in there on my first day. Like Jane said, I'm a journalism graduate of The Ohio State University. I've spent the last 7 or so years with the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Ohio, the federal trial court covering Cincinnati, Columbus, and Dayton courthouse locations, the southern half of Ohio, where I served as a public information specialist, handled media relations and a variety of other things. Very excited to be here for the opportunity to join Jane and her team. She's gotten me up to speed very quickly this morning, and I'm very excited to be here. So,
Now, you're an ERIC, Eric, not an ARIC. Eric,
correct,
right?
yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good to know.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Well, welcome,
very- yeah.
Eric.
Very glad to have you, Eric.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you.
There's a lot going on. We'll keep you busy.
Thank you.
Okay,
Welcome.
thanks, Jane.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Jennifer?
Item number 9, resolution number 23-603, in the matter of approving change order number 1 to the agreement between the Delaware County Board of Commissioners and Peterson Construction Company for the Lower Alum Creek Relief Pump Station and Force Main Project Pump Station Contract Number DC ESTC 142 PS.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Tiffany Mag, Director of Environmental Services. So this is the only change order that we're going to have on this project. It's a net deduct of about $105,000. Takes our final contract price from $7.58 million down to $7.47 million. And we are pretty close to completing. We're just finishing up some SCADA work at the pump station, and then we'll be bringing it through session for final approval.
Wow.
Good to know. Good to know. Big project, important project.
Yeah, it really went well. The overall, we can't, no complaints with the contractor or the work, and just trying to wrap up that, final programming work there at the pump station, so.
Sure. Great.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, vote, Jennifer?
Vote on motion 23-603, Mr. Merrill,
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Resolution
Tiffany.
number 23-604, in the matter of approving the project grant agreement with the Ohio Public Works Commission for the Cheshire Road widening project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Morning, Eric Hostetler, Deputy Administrator. Last year, the board approved an application for OPWC funding for the Cheshire Road widening, and that Grant application has been approved, and this is the project agreement to proceed with that funding.
Do you know the timing of this? Or is
I-
it still out?
I
You
did
knew
not
I'd
bring
ask.
the notes that Rob provided me,
Okay.
so I can get that information and get back to you.
Yeah, again, the whole Cheshire Road corridor is going to be an important project.
Jen can answer that
Jen?
question.
We expect the bid contract late fall with construction in summer of 2024 and the amount of $495,420 towards the $2.2 million project.
Sounds like you were anticipating that question.
Yeah, good to know, good to know. All right, other questions? Vote, please.
Vote on motion 23-604. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 23-605, in the matter of approving right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
This is just a standard request for 3 right-of-way work permits.
Okay, questions, discussion, vote?
Vote on motion 23-605. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 23-606, in the matter of declaring county personal property obsolete, unfit, or not needed for public use.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, this is an action to allow for the disposal of personal property, try to sell it by internet auction at first, and if we can't get any successful bids from the internet auction, it'll be disposed by other means. And you have the list of all of the property that's going to be offered for sale.
Okay, questions, comments, vote?
Vote on motion 23-606. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Item number 13 has been removed from today's agenda, so that brings us to item number 14. Resolution number 23-607, in the matter of adopting text amendments to the Delaware County zoning resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Good morning, Commissioners. Dwayne Matlack, Building Safety. I have with me Jamie Upchurch, who's the office coordinator, in case there were questions. We're here today again for consideration of text amendments to the Delaware County zoning code. One of the text amendments is to allow for mineral extraction in FR1 districts as a conditional use. So it would still need to go through a hearing process in that for approval, and it would only be for limited processing. So most of the quarry work would take place in the existing quarry area. The rest of the amendments are just updates to the code done by the zoning board. And I would like to thank all the hard work that the zoning board and staff did over the months to get this prepared and before you.
Okay. I know we held a hearing, I guess it's been a couple of weeks ago, and asked a lot of questions and learned a lot more about it. I don't know if I have any follow-up questions at this point. Commissioner Lewis, any additional?
No questions, just a thank you to
Yeah.
the zoning board and you,
Yeah,
Dwayne.
for the work on this, and again, it needs to be done occasionally, and good to see the upgrades, the updates. So anyway, I guess we're ready to take a vote to approve.
That is what is before the board right now. So,
Pardon me?
If you're ready to, I can
Yeah,
call for the vote.
we ready to go forward? I would
Yes.
recommend we read the vote to
Yes.
approve.
Vote on motion 23-607. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks, Dwayne. Again, good to see the zoning updated as needed. Is that it then?
Administrator reports.
Administrator reports, time for that?
Good morning. The 911 Board Administrative Committee will start beginning to meet this week to conduct interviews for the 911 Director. We have 3 interviews this week, and depending on how those go, if they decide to interview others, hopefully we'll have a recommendation to the board within the next couple of weeks to move that process forward.
Okay, good, good. Is that it? Tracy,
That's
anything
it.
else? Okay. Dawn?
Have anything?
Eric, anything else? Commissioner Merrill?
Back from a Corsa meeting out west, and it was very helpful, very beneficial. And a side note, had the opportunity with some friends to go see a movie yesterday, Sounds of Freedom. if you get an opportunity to see that movie, see it. It is an outstanding movie. I highly recommend it. So that's all I have.
Did you see it at the Strand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I saw it.
Good, good.
Okay,
Commissioner Lewis?
I have nothing.
Okay, I just had one other thing. The Land Bank Board meeting met last week, or the week, maybe it was the week before. But anyway, the takeaway from it is that we did have $500,000 of demolition grant money available to the county. We only spent $200. I think I mentioned this earlier. But we did confirm that the previously completed projects are not eligible for to be considered a replacement project. But we're trying to confirm if a project that's already in contract but hadn't been started may be eligible, because we have at least one of those, and there's a couple others I know we're considering, including the Homeport property, that could be eligible. Now, one of the restrictions is it does have to be completed by June 30th of 2024. And, but that's just round one. Round two was just approved in the most recent state budget, and it's a similar sort of funding program for both brownfield remediation and demolition. And we're waiting for the details on that. We should hear the details in the coming weeks, at which point we'll work with the local jurisdictions to identify properties and see if there's some ways we could take advantage of improving our community with these grants. That's all I had. I think that's it. We do need executive session.
We do. Resolution number 23-608, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of compensation of a public employee or public official for pending or imminent litigation and for collective bargaining.
Can I also add
So moved.
security?
And for security arrangements and emergency response protocols.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? Vote?
Vote on motion 23-608. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
All right, we're now in executive